The Boston Celtics just might be the team to beat in the East. They continue to win and win and win. And they're really just proving, fellas, that this is not a fluke. This isn't just a hot run that they got on. This isn't just, the luck of the Irish. These guys are legit. They've proven it to us last year. They proved it to us the year before that. They are proving it to us this year that without Jason Tatum, without Drew Holiday, without Kristaps Porzingis, these guys, Jaylen Brown, Payton Pritchard, Derek White, Joe Mazzulla, they really are legit. They've won eight out of their last 9 games, and they beat some pretty good teams. Last night, they beat up on the Lakers. You guys, talk to me about the Celtics. Can they still come out the East?
I think it's interesting, Ron. This is one of the most indecisive feelings I've had about any NBA season, because the teams that's supposed to be winning aren't winning. The teams that's not supposed to win are winning. If you look at if you take a look at the Boston Celtics on paper, not on paper, just look at the Boston Celtics and look at the Lakers. Are they supposed to beat that Laker team just from watching them? I ain't even talking about just watching the game. You just look at them from a talent standpoint. Are they better than this group?
Yes.
Yet, you think that they're better than that group with James, with Luka, with AR?
On paper, though, Swiper.
I'm just lining up these groups. I'm looking at this group and I'm looking at this group, and I'm thinking to myself, how is this group better than that group with Ayton, with James?
They have better players.
With do they have better players, or is it the system? Because I think it's the system that's working better.
They have better players,
and I think they got. I think they got. I do think that they have better coaching. I'm not going to argue that point. But when I watch the Lakers, because if we being honest, I don't think Jaylen Brown was awesome yesterday. I don't.
He was not.
I don't think that he was.
Payton Pritchard.
I don't think he was awesome yesterday. I do think that Payton Pritchard was great yesterday. But I just feel like the system in Boston, I think that all of those guys, Joe Mazzulla has a unique way of getting you to buy into what they're doing, and it works, right?
Agreed.
And with the ball, you are going to get involved in the offense. Don't worry about that. You play defense, you shoot gaps, you rebound, you talk to each other. He has a unique way of keeping these guys engaged in what everybody else is doing and getting everybody else on the same page, which would explain why they are as connected as they are. So the Lakers aren't like that at all. And the thing that I worry about when I watch the Lakers is the same thing that I worried about last season with them, is Austin Reeves. I feel like he could get taken out of series. As good as he is as a bucket getter, I feel like he can get taken out of a series because the Celtics did a great job in keeping him in the action last night. I'm sorry, keeping him in the action and going after him. Now, the Celtics on the other hand, Ron, what they didn't do was they didn't focus on one guy. Even though Jaylen Brown took a lot of shots, Payton Pritchard came in and he gave them really good minutes, just not just as a bucket getter, right? But I felt like he gave them good. I felt like he gave them good minutes as a distributor, as a defender, right? And Vooch, this thing is just working with Vooch. Vooch is one of those guys that he gets on the floor and you go, this guy works with us. So I don't know about winning the East, Ron, because I think that there's some matchup issues that you could have in the Eastern Conference, but this group looks really good. They do. They look really good.
Mazzulla Coach of the Year, Phil?
Yes. To be honest with you, and I'm probably in the minority, I got him winning it going away. Like, I don't think it's close with Bickerstaff and what Coach in Oklahoma City is doing. I have Mazzulla winning it going away.
Well, I think it's Mazzulla, then it's Mitch Johnson, and then JB too. But I think any one of them honestly would win it.
Jordan Art just never gonna get respected around here. Cool.
You say who, brother?
I think Charles Lee's gonna
Jordan Art.
I think. Oh, you talking about with the Suns?
Yeah, Phoenix is 7 seed, and
respect. They scored 77 points last night.
I mean, shit. When the whole team is dying,
yeah.
Calm down.
Charles Lee deserves credit too.
Yeah, I think Charles Lee's done a great job.
Yeah, man. The Celtics are special, man, and this is why I think when I talk about again reiterating conversations, Rob, when I say the MVP of the team is Mazzulla, this is kind of what I meant. It's not to take away from JB at all. It's just I think JB is not. And Ron, you tell me if I'm wrong. You watched last night, maybe watch the rest of the season. I think he is very integral to what they're doing, obviously. But if you look at the larger system, like Mazzulla has done a tremendous job. Where, I mean, honestly, like if you would have told me that that Keita was going to end up being like a really valuable player in the NBA. You know, he doesn't have like a lot of great offensive skills. He's a good rim protector. He's like a nice lob finish player. Like he doesn't pass the ball like extremely well, but Mazzulla uses him very well. And you look at Baylor Shireman, again, it's not even just like the box score stuff. It's just everybody buys into a responsibility. Obviously, Sam Hauser. So this is just their role players. So then yesterday, their stars are Payton Pritchard, obviously, with 30 off the bench. Again, it's just the dribbling. He's so quick, he's so fast, and he's a lot stronger than you get. Like, so once he gets leverage on you, he's able to get around you, and/or he gets to step back quickly. Phenomenal handle. And then like Derek White was great yesterday too. You know, he was only 5 of 13, man, only had 12 points, but like it's the playmaking, it's the driving, it's even just some of the stuff he does in transition, like the floaters and had, like it's the fact he has such a quick trigger. It changes how you have to guard him. He did a great job versus the Lakers yesterday. And then Vooch off the bench had 9 points as well. He had 8 rebounds. He just adds to what they're doing. Like I think they have just found a way, and this is why Mazzulla for me is coach of the year. They have found a way to maximize. I wouldn't say lesser players because I don't think that's fair to what the Celtics are. I think the maximum.
No, you're right, Swipe, but you can say it. There are lesser players. Like coming into the season, nobody cared about what those dudes was doing, Ron. If we being honest, nobody cared about.
They're not lesser. They're good. It's just like they're without Tatum, Drew, and Kristoff,
Luka Garza, Shireman. Come on, man. Nobody cared about these dudes before the season started. Nobody.
Who ain't care about Luka Garza?
You did, Mars. Knock off the bullshit.
Now, Mars has some Luka. He has some love for Luka Garza.
You might have been giving me a little bit of Luka. You might have been giving me a little bit of Luka
36 right there. Yeah, you
that's
better
what I'm talking about, Mars.
Yeah,
but I wanted to ask you, Swiper, with the group that he has and the system that he's running. Why do people look down on systems the way that they do? Like, why is being a system guy such a bad thing?
Well, because players in the Ox, this is a really great Ox question too, because
that's
players
I was actually going to bring that to Ox too.
Players typically get more credit than systems do. And we talk about systems, is usually an indictment on players, because like when people bring up Steve Nash, they bring up D'Antoni, and they say that the reason why Steve Nash was what he was because of D'Antoni, which for them takes away credit from what Steve Nash was. Because if you look at D'Antoni throughout his career, he was able to take a lot of high leverage, high usage guards and turn them into MVP caliber players. And I think that when you talk about a system with the Celtics, they have Tatum and Brown, for instance. And I think if you say system, then it's like, well, you're taking away from what Tatum and or Brown are doing, or the system allows them to shoot too many threes, which is like you're taking 52% of your field goal attempts from three. That's too modern of an offense. You know, Jordan doesn't like it. I know Ox is not a big fan of, 3-point shooting to that degree as well. And I think there's so many negative correlations with it, but I do think in 2026, Chill, what Mazzulla has done is that even if in this league, it's not necessarily about talent. It is. It's like it's still preeminent. But in terms of the responsibility pie, because we can generate so many good looks at the basket and from three, then I think when you look at what Mazzulla has done, he's basically said, devoid of talent, we can still be one of the best regular season teams in the NBA, because we're going to generate so many high quality looks with such smart players that we're still going to be able to be competitive. And honestly, this feels very much like the post Kawhi Spurs for me, because if you remember, they had DeMar DeRozan and LaMarcus Aldridge, but they were still pushing 50-plus games, winning a year, even at that point in time, even without having this incredible roster, because they got everyone to buy into what they're doing. And I think yesterday, if you just look at what they're doing and like look at how they're playing, look at how connected they are, and look at how fast they're playing. And again, defensively, they're switching versus Luka as well. And they're saying, look, we believe, Luka, you're better than any one of our players on the floor. But the difference is the way we're going to play, we're going to make you basically have to play a math game with us where you're going to be using your one-on-one talent throughout the game. Same with Austin Reeves, same with LeBron. And then we're going to go beat you with ball movement, three-point shooting, space, and speed constantly every possession. And I think that's why Mazzulla deserves to be like what he is. And I think that's why Mazzulla's doing such a great job. He's basically just found a way to, you don't have to have like high-level talent to win 50-plus games in the league anymore. And he's done that better than anybody else in the league.
Well, the San Antonio Spurs example is a bad example, because after they lost Leonard, they went in the tank. I mean, I don't think they won 40 games.
They went to the playoffs in 2019.
Yeah, but they didn't. After they lost Leonard, they didn't win 40 games, I believe. I don't think they won close to 50 games after they lost him. But to your point,
they went to the playoffs the very next year, and they pushed.
They did. And I feel like they had good talent, but Ox, I really want to hear your input on this. Like, why are players looked at playing in systems the way that they are, as opposed to just being good players?
What do you mean? Like, how are they looked at?
Yeah, well, they're looked at as this is the system. You really ain't that good. You're just playing in the system.
Oh, I mean, that's just a lack of understanding of sports.
Mm.
It's just a lack of understanding. If your coach can draw something up or have a system and you can execute it, being able to execute is a big part of being a good player, regardless of what sport we're talking about. Like it's
Chill, by the way, they won 47 and 48 games right up to that. So just so we're clear. So they almost won 50 games both of those seasons. Remember, Leonard only played 9 games. They won 47 games. They won 48 games the very next year.
So they lost Leonard in the 18. They lost Leonard in the 18.
They lost Leonard basically in 17-18 because he didn't play the whole year.
Yeah.
So they won 47. They won 48.
So in 18-19.
Yeah.
In 18-19 they won 48 games, and then in the bubble season they won 32 games. Then after that, they won 32 games. Then after that, 33 games. Then after that, 34 games.
The roster also changed too.
Well, but that's the point. But as you were saying,
that was correct. They won 50 games almost. Go ahead, Ox.
Yeah, it's just a lack of understanding of sports. That's all.
Yeah.
Like if you can execute what you're supposed to be doing, like that's a part of being a good player.
Yeah.
And like that's what we talk about this a lot. Chill. If you like these are professional basketball players. They're you know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to be a household name to be able to get the job done.
Yeah.
You know, and I think Eric Spoelstra has proved that plenty of times. And I mean, mind you, the Celtics have a lot of talent on the roster though. It's not like it's just a ragtag group of dudes. You know what I mean? Like
from
Jaylen
previous
Brown,
to what they had though, Ox. I mean, that's not to say that they don't have that, but considering what they lost and what it was replaced with, I mean, replacing Drew Holiday with Anthony Simons, that's a downgrade. Like replacing Porzingis with Garza, that's a downgrade, right? So this I can appreciate your logic about talent. No, I'm not arguing that point at all. But when I think about what they had, which was a championship group in terms of talent, and to go from that to what they have now and to still be competing the way that they do, it's really surprising.
Chill. Sometimes less is more, though.
Like, I could get with that.
There's only one There's only one basketball. You know what I mean?
For real.
I could get with that.
I mean, the Thunder's a team that can lose. The Thunder could lose legit 3 to 4 guys, and they could lose 5 guys, and they'll still be good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually, you know what's funny? We just seen that last night.
Mm.
I'm not saying that Thunder team would win the West. I'm not saying that they would win 50 games, but sometimes less is more. And Swiper, like, you've been pushing the Joe Mazzulla prop. Me and Ox have more so been in favor of no Jaylen Brown is that good. Nobody's really giving Payton Pritchard his full flowers that he deserves.
What flowers should Payton Pritchard deserve, Ron? Who we talking about here? We're talking about an awesome rotation guy. I'm not going to argue that point. But what exactly are we? What are we talking about when we talk about Payton Pritchard?
Well, hold on, because let's address that though, Mars. Because
please, let's do that.
When Reggie said that, I told y'all that's not y'all got to stop disrespecting Payton Pritchard. Like that wasn't a knock on Caitlin Clark. Y'all got to remember Payton Pritchard was at University of Oregon. You know what I'm saying? What even what he's done at in spurts in the league. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
He's played. He's been on the court with Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. Now, mind you, I'm not saying Payton Pritchard is a all NBA guy. I'm not saying he's a superstar, but Payton Pritchard has been has always been dope. Like, this ain't when he gets his shots, Payton Pritchard typically doesn't stand for the Celtics. I you know what I'm saying? So. I just wanted to make sure we put that out there and speak on it again.
I just think it's a bad comparison.
Yeah, it probably is a bad comparison, but that wasn't a lot of people act like that was disrespectful to Caitlin Clark, and I didn't feel that way. I agree.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Now it's just the thing about Payton Pritchard is I think a lot of people don't hype up 6th man of the year as much as they should.
They should.
Like to win 6th man of the year, and it's not just necessarily the coming off the bench part. As much as it is, your job as 6th man of the year is to come and consistently get buckets every night. Consistently get money every single night. And I think that's like don't trip, Chill. I got you. But That's not an easy job to do. Like, no matter if you are on a team as good as the Celtics, or if you're on a team as good as the Thunder, and it's like all you got to do is come and score. No, that's not easy to do in the NBA. And like for Payton Pritchard to do that for the couple years that he did it, and now come and do it this year. Granted, he's starting some. He's on and off the bench, but Payton Pritchard is consistently a 20-point per game guy when given the shots and given the time.
If he didn't play, let me ask you this, Ron. If he didn't play in Boston, let's just say he was the lead guard in not San Antonio, but
if Houston had him right now,
that's
Mars.
Okay, Mars. If he's the lead guard in Houston, Mars, what does Payton Pritchard look like in Houston?
Well, they're the best team in the West.
Their second best player.
Wow,
he'd be great for Houston. Yeah, not to like harp on the Caitlin Clark point, but the reason I think is a bad comparison is like Payton Pritchard doesn't turn the ball over. Like he just does everything right. And like he hasn't shot like 40% from 3 this year. Like last night was like a game where he had it going. But like we know he can shoot. And then like the mid-range stuff, like he doesn't. That's why I thought it was a bad comparison. Like Payton Pritchard's out there getting money in the mid-range. Like Caitlin Clark has no mid-range game to speak of. And he doesn't turn the ball over. Like they're just very different players. And that's not to say one's better than the other or whatever. But like Payton Pritchard, when you have a point guard who can handle the ball as often as he does, whether that's starting or off the bench, create offense for himself and others without making mistakes, and can play on and off the ball. Like, I don't know what more you could want offensively from a point guard. Now, defensively, like he's still undersized, but he battles, he's physical. But like offensively, like there's nothing you could say like negative about Payton Pritchard other than the fact that like he's not great around the rim, but he's so good, to Swiper's point about leveraging his strength, that he can get to like his bump middies from like 8 to 12 feet. And it's like automatic. Those are like layups for him. So if he's able to just get that consistently, it's hard to take that away if you're a defense. So I like Payton Pritchard a lot.
Mars, you can tell Payton Pritchard grew up watching TJ McConnell.
When I spoke about his bump middies, I was like, I was going to compare him to TJ, but I just left it alone. I'm glad you took the.
Hey, I got you. That's what I'm here for. But real quick though, because I know Swiper doesn't want to do it, and that's why he didn't do it. But the elephant in the room is Jaylen Brown. Like, yeah, Payton Pritchard does this thing. Payton Pritchard, he's good to go off, any given time. But the elephant in the room is Jaylen Brown. I mean,
what do you mean when you say that, Ox?
That's the hard. What you mean? What do I mean when I say that?
You know
what I'm talking about.
Jaylen Brown wasn't on the crew. Like you think he's standing in Payton Pritchard's way? Is that what I'm understanding?
No.
He's saying Jaylen Brown is the catalyst for Boston's success.
Okay, that ain't the elephant in the room. We've addressed that already. We already know that Jaylen Brown, like me and you've already had this conversation, Ox, about him being higher in the league MVP votes. He should be higher than what he is.
And I'm so happy that a guy like LeBron James spent this week giving love to Kawhi Leonard and Jaylen Brown. You know what I'm saying? Somebody had to do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of LeBron. I'm just proud of Brown for doing that. You know what I'm saying?
What'd you bring me up for? I didn't want to do what?
Well, I didn't get here on time, but maybe you didn't do it enough, Swipe. But that's all I'm saying.
I think he had a cool game yesterday. He wasn't great yesterday.
Jaylen Brown is 5th in MVP.
He should be higher. He should be third or second. He should be third or second, depending on how you feel about Cade.
And quick,
this is what we're doing now. Oh, okay.
This is the quote that LeBron James said. He said, "This whole MVP thing, I don't understand why his name isn't getting talked about."
It's getting talked about all the time. People bring this up, bringing it. He has segments on shows.
Yeah, maybe I'm hearing different conversations.
There are segments on national TV shows about it.
Yeah, I feel like
yes, but the reason these segments revolve around the fact that he's not.
He is
one of the top. But he's not Swiping. No, he's not.
That's why.
Right. That's not good enough, and that's why these conversations are being had. These conversations are being had because Jaylen Brown isn't getting enough MVP love. So yes, there are conversations. You're absolutely correct about that. But the conversations are, like Ron said, why is he not being spoken about more as an MVP candidate. That's what the conversations are. 32, 8-7. You know what I'm saying? You can say what you want about this Swipe, but he you know what I'm saying? It's nice.
What's he averaging on the season?
I don't care how many shots
he took 28 shots to get there. How is everybody doing? He could have took
40 shots to get there.
He averaging 29. I mean, that's
but like these efficiency merchants really grind my gears. You know what I'm saying?
As of today, right now, when that's your job. That's your job. Shoot the ball.
Who cares about
he's worse at it than a lot of other people.
Who cares about that?
So I mean, I don't know what to tell you. He is worse. He's worse at that very thing than other people. So what do you want me to say, brother?
Yeah, he's not the best scorer in the league. I don't think Fox is saying.
As of today, according to Basketball Reference, the top 10 MVP candidates: Joker, SGA, Cade, Luka, Wemby, Jalen Duren, Murray, Maxey, Donovan Mitchell, James Harden. Jaylen Brown is not.
That's more. Yeah, that's more of a
statistical.
That's more based on like box score.
Chill. Stay off of Basketball Reference. That's for efficiency merchants.
Yeah, that's a statistic. But like the real like MVP ladder, I'm pretty sure he's 5th. Like he's
right.
What did he do in the straw poll? What was he in straw poll, Mars?
I'll look.
That just came out last Friday.
I mean, there's no way he's not. There's no way he's not in this.
Wait, hold on.
It's the panel. Religion get built on cam. Where the check throw smoke and the hoes go ham. You ain't never seen hoops out here did raw. Every take got weight, every night we drop. This that barbershop. Courtside, worldwide tone. Welcome to the only show that really feel like numbers jumping like the score.